Hey guys, this is Chris Fayte with Cheat the Game coming back at you. You'll have to forgive me and all the fan noise in the background. The AC unit went out, my luck. And as you can tell from my accent, that I do not live up north, so it's pretty damn hot down here. And I'm sitting in a 90-degree room, no shirt on, backwards cat, pouring sweat, waiting on the HVAC guy to get here. So I just thought I'd keep myself busy while I'm waiting for the AC guy to come fix this thing. So I said, well, why not just do a lesson to keep my mind off things? So what I'm going to bring up today is how to, well, we're not really going to get into how to bypass anti-hacks right now. We are going to be discussing stuff like that later. And what I'm talking about is that certain games have anti-hacks involved, whether it would be X-Live, just buku's amounts of different software that they use, that they embed into the programming itself to keep you from using things like cheat engine or hacking the game, stuff like that. You'll note that when you find a certain value and then you go write a script for it, then you go cut the script on, boom, the game crashes. Well, a lot of times those are the anti-hacks embedded into the game. So I do have Assassin's Creed Unity up right now that is just embedded with lots and lots of anti-hacks in it. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Anti-Fun. I use his trainer a lot for this game, and he's just done a tremendous amount of work in bypassing all the integrity checks and anti-hacks for Assassin's Creed Unity. And he's a really great game hacker, and you'll find a lot of his comments at the Cheat Engine website as well. He's just a really great guy to learn from as well. So my hat's off to that site. So check out Mr. Anti-Fun, for current up-to-date trainers if you just want to have one pre-made. Really great site. I'll put the link down in the description. I was fortunate enough to be able to meet one of his moderators on my channel, and it was real nice meeting you. I hope you come back. But what I want to talk about is I'm not really going to talk about hooking and bypassing or using stealth edit or anything like that. I'm just going to talk worst case scenario. We tried everything, we're already frustrated, and we really want to have a cheat that we don't have to keep looking up every single time we play the game. Well, worst case scenario, we have to find pointers. So I want to show you a new way. And 64-bit games, it's really a lot more difficult to find these pointers. So this particular lesson right here, if you don't have version of the Cheat Engine 6.5, then this lesson isn't going to mean that much to you. So I'll go ahead and put the link down there in the description. If you do not have the updated 6.5 version of Cheat Engine, you need to download it because we are going to be discussing today pointer maps and how to use those. And what's great about these pointer maps is you don't even, after you've created a couple of them, you don't even need the game running to look up pointer paths. And that's a really great free feature that Darkbite put into there, and we're going to take advantage of it here. And we're going to bypass anti-hacks by looking up pointer paths. So let's get to it. So firstly, we want to make sure that everything is set up properly with Cheat Engine. Let me close this one back down. And just make sure that you have it set up to load up in administrator mode, first of all. You can right click on it, change the compatibility settings, make sure that this is ticked to run the program as administrator. And then we can just bring that back up here. Sorry about that. Alright. Also, we want to check our debug settings. And what you do is go to settings, and then options, and then debugger options. Make sure hardware breakpoints max support is that box is highlighted, and make sure that you are using, starting off, VEH debugger. That's usually the best debugger to get around anti-hacks. It seems to work for most games. Now, if things are crashing down and you are using VEH debugger, then go ahead and use Windows debugger. Make sure that this is tick marked. Try to prevent detection of debugger. But most of the time, that's usually what crashes the game. So make sure that you are on VEH debugger. So that's what we're going to do. Now that we're all set up, what I want to do is I want to find pointer paths for my berserker darts. And the berserker darts in AC Unity is when, you know, when you shoot someone and it injects some chemical in them and makes them go berserk, and they just start attacking each other, start attacking their own allies. And so I've been trying to hack this game, been trying to write scripts for it, to no avail. I've been trying to do all the hooking, to no avail, because there's like 20 some odd integrity checks going on that happen at different intervals, and it's just a major pain. Unless you just got massive amounts of time to put into it, it's better just look at the pointer and be done with it. So let's go ahead and get to it. I want to go ahead and I've already got my offset distances for all my different blades here. What do you call those things? Those phantom blades or whatever, but they all shoot from your wrist. So that's what I want to find. So normally I've got everything set from that right there, the phantom blades. So I'm going to find my berserker blades though. And you only get 2 of those. So that's why I have to look it up this way. And you see, I've already really found the pointer paths earlier for berserker blades, but I want to show you how I did it. And this is really a great way to do this. Let me clear the list. So we can just start fresh so we're not confusing anybody. And these are going to be on the 4-byte, and they are exact values. So that, at least that part's easy. So we ain't got to really hunt down the actual address. So let's go ahead and... wrong button, Chris. Sorry about that. And we got 3 left, so we're going to bring that back up and rescan it again. And let's just unchange, and weed them out. And hopefully I don't have to describe how I'm doing this. Hopefully everybody's up to speed with how to find basic values. If not, please go back and watch pre-made vids where we're doing this all the time. Also check out Sneaky Mofo's channel where he just gives you a whole rundown from beginner to advanced. That can really help you out. So we're down to 1. Oh, here it is right here. I know it ends in 8, and that's the only one. And I know it's a 64-bit address. So I'm just change that back to 5 just to be 100% sure. And it changed to 5. So we're good to go. And the way I've already found my offset distances, which as long as you keep the same version, those offset distances will be the exact same. And that means that if I bring this up and dissect data structure, this address, that means that all these other values are in that same dissect data structure, and I just count how far away that they actually are from each other. So I'm going to bring up my calculator. I'm going to copy the address for the phantom blades, and we're going to go into hex mode and just paste that address in there. And I know that the offset distance is 40 away from this one. It's a plus 40. So I just put plus 40. And that'll bring up my berserker darts. And that's what I want. That's the one we're trying to find. And it's got 2. That sounds about right. Let me just go ahead and lock that value in here. And let's go to my berserker darts and make sure that that works. And I mashed the wrong button again. Way to go, Chris. Yep, and that's it. Alright, so we're good to go. So now what I want to do, if I was to go write a script for this, let me just show you. Since we're doing this, let me just show you what anti-hacks will do to your game. Well, if I do that, then I'll have to relook this back up. Screw it, I'll just relook it back up. If I find out what writes to this address, I hook the debugger onto it. It'll bring up the screen. And then I'll just wait till it writes to that address. Maybe I didn't do that right. Let's try that one more time. It always goes wrong when you try to record something. Whoop, sorry about that. I keep hitting some hotkey on here I got set and keep closing my recorder down right in the middle of talking. So let me redo that. Here you see the opcode brought up for the berserker blades. We have it moving EDI, which is the value of the new value into our offset of 28. which is located in the RBX registry, which is a 64-bit registry. And we're going to go try to modify that in script form. So we show that in the disassembler. It takes us directly to that code. And let me just show you what happens when you try to write a script for this. We're just going to use a regular code injection. So we need to set and enable and disable. And just use code injection. And let's say I change that to where it just writes 99 to it, which enhances that 63 or 630. And assign to the current cheat table. Now, watch what happens. Let me stop this. So we go to set our script in action. It should write 99 to here when we go to use it, but watch. Boom. You see that? Our game just closed us down. Well, that's the anti-hacks. What it does, there's an integrity checks going on that when those bytes are changed in any way from what it's expecting it to be or coming from a different source than it's expecting, it knows that there's an alien presence in the programming. I don't know how to put it. That's trying to manipulate things, so it slams it down. And usually you find these things for games that you play offline, but you can also go online with as well. So that's where pointers are our best friends also. So let me bring the game back up. I'm going to refine all this stuff without you having to watch that since we already did it. And let's just get back to where we were. I'll be right back. Okay, so after your game is closed down, after you've tried your code injection or AOB injection, and you're done stomping around the house, ripping your clothes off, throwing things around and yelling at the dog, and you calm down a little bit, you come back and say, well, we got to find something that will help us out for a later date. So instead of getting into, like I said earlier, instead of getting into, looking up integrity checks and then hooking them and bypassing them and all that mess in script form, we're just going to go worst case scenario and say, screw it, let's just look for pointers. Okay. So what I want to do is introduce you to the pointer maps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and usually I just do this on a fresh cheat engine with no other codes in there, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So I'm going to get rid of these and just get them out of here. So the only pointer I'm looking for is the only one visible. And you'll see that we need that one to be the only one visible because we'll need to know what that address is for later. Or, you can copy and paste it to Notepad. It don't really matter. But let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to right click on it. And when you have the 6.5 version, you'll see this new little option up here, Generate Pointer Map. And that's what we're going to be using. So when you right click, just go ahead and click Generate Pointer Map. Let me go ahead and delete this one. It's one I had made earlier. And just name it. Let me just rename it. Berserker ACU. And then I usually put underscore and then pointer map. And then label that one being the first one because we're going to make the second one here in just a moment. Go ahead and click save. And it's going to go ahead and generate a pointer map. Now, I know the base mechanics of pointer maps and everything of that nature, but I don't really know all the ins and outs about it and everything. Not enough to go ahead and just say, well, this is what it's doing, this is how to do it, and blah blah this, that, and the other. It don't really matter. Cheat engine pretty much does the work for you, so it's kind of like explaining green to a blind man, especially when I'm still learning it myself. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to let it generate the pointer map. All you got to do is just let it do its thing, and I'll be right back once that's done. Okay, very good. It's went ahead and created our very first pointer map, and you'll see this data in the spot that you saved it. I went ahead and brought that file up. And what we need to do is we have to close the game down all the way. We need to bring it back up. Now, let me just throw this information out there. If you do have another computer with this game on it, it's best to generate your second pointer map on a different computer for the best possible results. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I only have the same computer, and so I'm going to have to do it on my own computer. But, for the best results, it's always best to have maybe another computer, or if you have a friend with another computer that has it, have him generate your second pointer map for you, as long as he has the same version of Assassin's Creed that you do, or whatever game that you're using this for. Those will give you the best results. Those will weed them out really good. But since I don't have that, I'm just going to do it on the same computer. And let me go ahead and close this down, bring it back up, and I'll be right back with you. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the new address for the Berserkers. And I'm going to have that done when I get back also. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I've completely shut the game down. I brought the game right back up again. Went ahead and looked up the new Berserker Darts address, and as you can see, it's a lot different than the first one we found. I went ahead and labeled that just for my benefit, Berserker 1, Berserker 2. This is the second address that we're going to use for our second pointer map. And I just got to thinking also, now, I know I didn't go into detail about what pointers are or anything of that nature. It's because I've already done it, and I'm going to put the link up here to my pointer tutorial. It's for my Dragon Age pointer tutorial for Infinite Health, and I give a full rundown on why we look for pointers, what pointers are, and everything. I'm just going to give you a brief summary of it, just for anybody new that hasn't kept up with past tutorials. Let me bring. So just briefly, on the far left, you'll see it says health and then variable. That is our what we call a dynamic address, and that's what we just looked up. Every time you look up your values and you see the address, that is a dynamic address. That's why when you close the game down, you bring it back up, the dynamic address seems to change. It's never the same. Well, that's because it's not really the address of where that value is being stored. If you look on the far right, it says address 1/2, which is a static address. That is our base address. That never changes. Somewhere in memory as one address that's always that particular value. And what it does, it generates some type of map where you see the address 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, and on forward. Those are your offsets. It goes to an offset all the way to our dynamic address. And those offsets could be different each time we load up the game. And that's why you get different addresses. But that static address that it comes from will always remain the same. So we generate a pointer map, or we look up pointer paths to that static address. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that static address that never changes. And it will always give us the right value every time we load up the game and every time we load up our cheats. So that's why we do it. And I give a full tutorial on that on the other vid that I'm going to post up in the right hand corner, or I should have already done it by now. Please go take a look at it. If you're unfamiliar, I go into a lot more detail. Okay, so we have now successfully generated our second pointer map. I went ahead and closed the game all the way down. I've even closed Cheat Engine down. I'm just going to bring up the file location. As you can see, here's our second pointer map generated. And that's the best part about these pointer maps, is that you don't need the game up because you generated pointer maps. Now this process that we're going to do here, I recommend doing, maybe before you go to bed, you're done with the computer for the day and you just let it run all night, or before you go to work the next day. This is the long period. Now I know it's a pain, you want these done right away and everything, but when you look up pointers, there is no easy route. There is, and you're going to be waiting a while. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. That's why we try to do other things with scripts and bypassing anti-hacks or whatever, because pointers, like I say, it's the worst case scenario, and that's what we're working on. So what I want to do is I want to bring up my Cheat Engine 6.5. Let's just say we're done with our computer for the day, getting ready to go to bed or getting ready to go to work, no matter what your situation may be. And like I said, we don't need the game running. We're going to click on Memory View. It'll bring up just a blank memory viewer. We want to go to our tools and just regular pointer scan. And then we're going to click on Pointer Scanner and scan for pointer. The first thing you want to do before you bring anything else up is you want to make sure that Show Advanced Options is tick marked. Now, if you have a 32-bit align or 32-bit addresses, then it's fine. You can leave that tip marked. That will kind of cut out a lot of results. However, Assassin's Creed Unity is using those long 64-bit addresses, so I need to untick mark that, or I'm not going to get any results at all. As you saw, those addresses I had were a lot longer than just regular normal 32-bit addresses, and I'll show you. So we want to go ahead and click this box, Use to Save Pointer Map. And we're going to bring up our pointer map 1, the first one we made. And this is why I kind of recommended a fresh cheat engine where you just have those two addresses that you're working on. As you can see, that's not a normal 32-bit address. Normally, 32-bit address would be just 4 bytes long. I also recommend, especially with Assassin's Creed Unity, I usually set mine up to about a maximum I'll set of 5,000, and I increase my max level here to 6 or 7, depending. The higher you set it, the longer it's going to take. Keep that in mind. And what we're going to do is bring up our second pointer map that it can reference with. Compare results with other saved pointer map. And this is where we bring up our second one we created. And we want to pick the correct address. As you see, I went ahead and labeled that one, which I should have done for the first one, but as you see, Berserker 1, we want that Berserker 2 address that it can compare against. See, here's the Berserker 1, here's the Berserker 2. Both different dynamic addresses. And what it will do, even without the game running, it's going to analyze all those pointer paths, and it's going to give us the results to static addresses. And this could take a very long time. So I'm going to let it run, and I'll be back when it's finished. Oh, excuse me. Before I go, you want to save. And I'm going to put Berserker pointer results 1, and it's going to be saved in the same file, and let it work its magic. And like I say, this will take a long time. Let it run overnight, let it run while you're at work. I'll be back once I'm actually not going to let it do that. I'm actually going to stop it before when it finds some results, and just go from there, because I know it already works because I've done it. But you want to let it run as long as you possibly can. Alright, be back shortly. Alright, so now we're back, and this is a while later. As you see, I came up with 64 results, and that's what you're looking for, those results found on that other screen that you saw, the results found. Naturally, you want to try to get as many results as possible. And like I say, I wasn't going to let it run all night. I want to get this vid done. But as you see, we got some pointer paths generated. Now, are they all going to work throughout the game? Probably not. But, we want to test them out. So I'm just going to put some random ones on here, on this cheat engine. I'm just going to put a few, like so. Now, hopefully you'll come up with more results. When you let it run for longer, it'll find more pointer paths for you, no problem. But for right now, I'm just going to use these for the time being. I'm going to go ahead and label them so I know what they are. Berserker, I can't spell. Berserker darts. Alright, let's bring up our game and let's see if it finds our pointer for us. Alright, here we go. Now let's attach the game to cheat engine and take a look. Oops. Ah, crap. I do stupid stuff sometimes. Alright, these are some more random ones. And take a look. Value 2, let's just make sure. Let's go to our Berserker darts. And let's see if we stay at 2. And take a look. We now have a way in a game that's chock full of anti-hacks to keep you from writing scripts and things of that nature, or tries its best to. We now have a way to bypass it where we don't have to keep looking up that cheat every single time we want to play. It will automatically find the static address for us, and based off the map generator it gave us. So that's basically all there is to it. You want to save that, and like I say, you want to play through the game and weed out any more that may change. Now, pointers are unstable. That's why it's always recommended to write scripts. But we'll get into anti-hacks and script writing on a later date. That's a totally different ballgame. But this is a worst case scenario. It does work, and that saves you a lot of work later on if you don't mind putting in the work to find these pointers. And it really is a valuable asset. And also for when you make trainers, if you can't write scripts or you're just getting too frustrated with it, just go the pointer route. That's all there is to it. Well, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the description. Please place a like on this if this helps you. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I got a lot more coming your way. We're going to be getting more advanced here, and we're going to be discussing some new things. Got some new games coming your way. I got Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor we're going to be taking a look at in the future, and a lot more great stuff. Alright guys, also join my friends, if you don't mind, over at guidedhacking.com. That's where you'll find me as well. Great source of learning over there. They go into C++, C#. They go well beyond Cheat Engine, all the way from beginner to advanced. Check out also my friend, Binomi 89. He is specializing in hacking Android games and uses different type apps to do that. So go check his channel out as well. I'll leave the links for you down there in the description. Alright guys, take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. Take care now. Now we got Infinite Berserker darts. We bypassed the anti-hack.